Elaine here from the Smart Train, your partner in learning. Welcome to the Smart Train Smartcasts, simple tools for maximum impact. Let's look at a simple and effective way of getting access to options available to us while we're giving our presentation. Now, you may be familiar with a few of the ways that we can advance onto the next slide and go back to the previous slide. The little groups of options available to us are the arrow down key and the arrow up key, the page down key and the page up key. The N key will bring you to the next slide, and the P key on the keyboard will bring you to the previous slide. And we have the Enter key to advance on to the next slide, and of course the backspace to bring us to the last slide. Now we're going to have a look at some of the extra options that are available to us on our screen. In order to access these, we need what we call a contextual menu. And in order to access the contextual menu, you need the right click of your mouse. By default, the mouse arrow actually disappears from the slideshow when you're giving a presentation. So I need to bring it back in view. I do this by giving the mouse a bit of a twiddle, and that will bring the mouse back in view on my slide. And to avail of my contextual menu, I do a right click. So let's have a look at some of the options here. You have the next and previous buttons, which I've already discussed, and the keyboard is probably a better option than accessing the contextual menu. We'll come back to the last few just in a moment. For the moment, I want to look at the Go to Slide option. Now you can see that we have slide 2 displayed, and the slide is called the Right Click Magician because that's the title on the slide. If you get towards the end of your slideshow and somebody asks a question and you know that there's information regarding the answer of that question possibly on an earlier slide, you can use this option to go back to an earlier slide. When you find the slide that you want, you simply click it, and that will bring you to the slide that you need. Now let's say you've forgotten which slide you had displayed just before this one, or you have been distracted. You can simply use the right click again and go to last viewed. This will bring you straight back to the slide that you were on before you were diverted. So that's a great way of maneuvering around your slideshow by using the Go to Slide option and the last viewed. Go to Section is a new option available in Office 2010, and Custom Show has been there all the time, but it's greyed out because we don't have any custom shows created. In order to access this option, you need to have created custom shows. Check out the smarttrain.com library for videos on how to create custom shows. Next up is the screen option. There is a quick free smartcast available that describes how to use these options using keyboard shortcuts. You should check it out. The other option available here to us is switch programs. This is slightly different to using the Alt and Tab on your keyboard to switch between programs on your computer. This option will actually bring up the taskbar at the bottom of your screen and will allow you to go to another program. I'll go back into the contextual menu again, and what I want to look at now is pointer options. Now with Office 2010 they got rid of one of the pointer options, which was the felt tip pen, and now we just have pen or highlighter. By default you always have an arrow. In order to use the pen or highlighter, simply select it in the menu here, and once you choose pen you'll notice that the arrow has now changed to a red dot. The colour of the pen is red by default. With this red dot you can actually apply annotations to your slide. So you can do things like check marks, you can do X's, you can do underlines, and you could do circles. Now you can also write if you're more artistic than I am. As long as you have this option selected, you will have your felt tip pen, and you will need to right click again, go back down to pointer options, and to bring it back to the arrow, simply select arrow. You can also work with the ink color that you're provided. As I said, red is the default, so you can choose a different color here. We also have the eraser. When selected, looks like an actual eraser, and we can use it to erase certain annotations. I'm going to keep the other two annotations for now. Back into my right click again, down to my pointer options, and you'll see that without having to erase individual annotations, you can actually delete all of the ink on your slide. As well as that, we have the arrow options, and this allows you to choose whether automatically to hide the arrow on the slide or whether to have it always visible or always hidden. If you choose always hidden, then essentially your arrow disappears. I'm going to go back in now and change my arrow options to automatic. Moving on to the next options available to us are of course the help menu, which I don't recommend using while you're standing in front of an audience or giving a presentation in a meeting. We have the pause option, which is greyed out at the moment, and we also have the end show option. The end show will end the presentation as it is, and also bear in mind you have the escape key on the keyboard that will also end the presentation. For the purpose of this video, I'm going to select this option to show you that if you try and come out of your presentation while you still have annotations, you will be asked do you want to keep them or not. Bear in mind if you select keep, they will be kept with the presentation. So I'm going to discard them for now, and we have ended the slideshow. So there you have it, simple and effective ways to interact with your slide and your audience, and also to move within your presentation and confidently and easily find your place if you need to move to a different slide somewhere else in the presentation. Check out further free smartcasts on our website, thesmarttrain.com, and don't forget to connect with us on Twitter and Facebook at The Smart Train. If you wish to arrange on-site training for your organisation, please go to the main website smartsolutions.ie. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time with our great free smartcasts.